This is 1995, The Roar. I'm your host, Grande Gato, also known as the Big Cat, a channel by a fan for the fan, restoring the roar to the Carolinas. Okay. If you're new to the channel, do me a solid, man. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you haven't already, consider joining the Discord. It is free. In the community section and in the description, you can find the link to it. All right. No cost, no nothing. Just come on in there. Season coming around. You guys want to be around a community of people where you can talk, have a good time, offline, online, the whole nine. All right. So consider joining the Discord and all the other good stuff. What do I got for you today, man? Before we get into today's topic, I want to kind of give you guys an injury report according to the Charlotte Observer, far as what's going on with the team and who's hurt, whatnot, yada yada yada. All right, so if you haven't already found that, Chandler Zavala has a patella tendon injury. Okay, so unfortunately for him, it looks like he will be out a couple weeks here. According to Coach Canales, he said, "Thank God it wasn't a full patella tendon rupture, but there's an injury. So it's something. It's something that we're going to have to rehab him, but we're going to take it week to week and kind of see if we can get him back out there and work this camp." So that was your coach, Dave Canales. Uh, prayers up to uh, prayers up to Chandler Zavala. If you guys don't know, the kid from NC State had a neck injury. I believe it was last year, or the year before. So it looks like he's starting off camp again with another injury, man. I would definitely have to start to say, man, if these injuries continue to pile up for him, we may be looking to probably either move on or find a way to replace him or whatever. But I mean, a guy who was supposed to live up to much anticipated talent has been fighting to stay healthy. All right. Again, Canales expanded upon injuries by saying a lot of guys get their opportunities. I think Jair Carter, he's been getting some guard reps there, and Brady Christensen kind of working across the whole offensive line. And Jared Kingston's been working at guard as well. Close quote. So again, he just kind of letting you know what I just said. You know, injuries happen, and that's under unfortunate. But you know, the best ability is availability, and no matter if you were taken in the first, second, third, or whatever round you were taken in, if you're not healthy, you're giving somebody a shot to take your job. And unfortunately, it looks like Zavala is, you know, might have that same situation going on with him. All right, but prayers up to him. Um, Derek Brown, who just got back out there, he didn't take any part in team drills. Looked like the guy was struggling with oblique soreness or soreness in general, according to Canales. And I quote, "General soreness, trying to be smart with Derek. His knee feels great, just torquing his body in different ways. He got some oblique soreness right now. We want to be smart and get ahead of that. It's not something that we feel like we had to do an MRI on or do anything like that right now. But as we're trying to work him back into his flow, so we'll keep dosing him the right way ahead of week one." Again, more injury news there. And, he dealt with that knee issue as well. I get it. Derek Brown is the last guy on this team who needs to prove himself in training camp, right? This is a pro bowler, all pro, a man amongst men and boys, if you ask me. And although you would like to see how he, meshes in with the new guys and even the rookies, you got to be smart, right? So, although he's fighting that injury list or whatever, be smart, right? So be smart. And that seems like the sentiment that coach has. I had no problem with that. Before we wrap up the injury list here, it looks like we had a camp standout today. Let me scroll down here. Cornerback here. Shamar Bartholomew, the guy who was signed off of waivers last year, came in and has been lighting up camp here. And I'm going to say this. Canales said he had a huge day. Can I be honest with you? I'm going to be real honest with you. Canales said he had a huge day. He said, "I think we understand him with the scheme coming from the Jets, yada, yada, yada. Shamar has taken this offseason seriously, had a really good spring." I'm going to stop right there. That's where I'm going to stop. Um, no disrespect to Canales or Bartholomew, but he's not the answer for us in the cornerback room. practice squad, training camp, preseason, hell, he can be an All-American. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you, man, if you're hyping this guy up to come in here and be covering somebody's number 2 or 3, you're setting yourself up for failure. We already seen Mike Jackson get smossed by T-Mac today, right? Yeah, y'all see that clip? T-Mac went out there and dominated Mike Jackson, where a true Pro Bowl veteran and J.C. Horn locked up T-Mac. See the big difference? So that concerns me gravely. And shout out to Shamar Bartholomew. I mean, you're doing enough to stick around, and that's always good. We like our brothers employed, right? So I'm glad you're doing enough to stay employed, but I'm not impressed. Good practice body, good. Maybe he could be this year's Michael Jackson, right? Last year's Michael Jackson did enough to be, got a contract. Maybe Bartholomew's this year, not Jackson. You know what I mean, but that's all I got for you, far as the injury report. Camp little standout here, and we'll go into day 6 on a later video here. I'm kind of behind here. Like I said, I took a day off, but let's move on to the main topic. Today's main topic is this: Panthers head coach Dave Canales implementing a culture of toughness. So I got to ask you guys a question. How do you feel about Dave Canales making it a point of emphasis to establish the culture of toughness? And I will drop the link. So for those who want to jump in and chime in, we're going to try to keep it to about an hour, hour and a half, so I don't have to edit too much. But let me get my main topic off here. Do you think it's cheesy? Do you love it? Do you think it don't matter because they're soft? Or do you think tough is not a problem? When I look at the Carolina Panthers, you asked me a question, right, from a fan perspective. Over the last several years, this team has not made the playoff. And what do all teams in common have that make the playoff? They have somewhat or not a measure of toughness, right? You look at the guys, even the lower seeds, the 7 seed or whatever, the 8 seed, or whatever you want to call it, those guys, you have to be tough to make it into the final 16. And I have to say, the Panthers haven't been tough enough. There have been games where they showed some toughness, but not consistent toughness, right? If you want to know what toughness is, you look at guys like Jaden Daniels and the Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders going on the road, winning back-to-back playoff games, going on the road into a hostile territory like the Detroit Lions and the fire arsenal that they have on offense and pulling up the upset, right? Those are the kind of things that you look at when you think of toughness, right? Young, hungry toughness. So I don't think this team has had that consistently throughout the years. And do I feel like this is the only problem? No, I don't. But it seems like they're harping on it, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's if you ask me, I think toughness is a problem, but I don't think it's as big as a problem to where you need to be spending 90% of your time talking about it. And this is coming on the heels of the Chuba Hubbard hit, right? So, yesterday Chuba Hubbard, when they first got in the pad, Chuba Hubbard got lit up real good by Trevin and Wallace. And, Canales made a comment about how, it's all good. You know what I mean? They're establishing toughness, and that's what you like to see, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you never played the game of football, toughness is more so mental than it is physical, right? There's no doubt about it that 90% of those guys in that locker room can lay somebody out, right? I'm willing to bet, even the third string guy, I'm willing to bet that he has the ability to knock somebody out physically within the game or the context of football, right? But toughness is playing through a fourth quarter when you're going against an opponent that's better than you. Toughness is to know that you've been in a stalemate for 4 quarters and you ain't got nothing left to give, but I got to get a turnover. Toughness is knowing that I'm out of gas and I gave it everything I have, but I'm keeping the third down chains moving. Toughness is saying, though, even though we're down, I'm willing to fight like hell to come back. Toughness is to say I throw 3 interceptions and I'm willing to overcome that, right? So this whole toughness is a physical thing. That's a little bit subjective there, right? It is a bit physical, but to me, the problem with the Panthers isn't a physical thing or physical talent. It's more so a mental thing, right? How many times have we seen over the past several years where this team literally gets in a dogfight and they cower out? These boys cower out, you know what I mean? And then I get it. It's a long game. It's some 60-minute long as hell, man. You get in a tough game going against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals. As bad as the Bengals were, Joe Burrow threw for 5,000 yards. Going against the who else? The Eagles, the Car, you know, and this team is just they're not there mentally tough. So I think this whole reestablishing toughness culture is a good thing if you put it in the right context, right? Let's work on our mental toughness. Let's be sharp on our, not jumping off sides, not beating ourselves. You know what I mean? Being disciplined, making plays when we need them the most. I'm hoping these guys are practicing drills when you're coming from behind because I can see, no jokes, man. I can see this team coming from behind a lot this year. They're going to be in a situation where they're going to be coming from behind a lot. So, I'm hoping they got drills in camp right now where you're down 14, down 10, you need turnovers and stuff like that. Shout out to Demetri Carpenter. Well, how you doing, brother? How you doing? But yeah, man, I think it's a bit cheesy, but I understand that there is a certain formality to it, right? For those who not necessarily following what's going on. And if you ask me, I think I think the offense probably needs it more than the defense, right? I think this defense with that young blood, I think they're going to be just fine. A lot of people keep crying linebacker, linebacker, linebacker. Well, I don't see what you guys see at linebacker. I don't know why people keep saying that. You know what I mean? I see Scorton, I see Rosenboom, I see Manley, and I told you DJ Wanham is going to surprise a lot of you guys. I'm big on DJ Wanham. You guys got to go back and look at the numbers and see what Wanham did. Even though he came back, he had 4 games, 4 of the biggest games of his life where he played lights out. Even though he wasn't fully healthy all year. So I think people got a small memory. You know what I mean? You got to really pay attention to that. But toughness is not the problem on defense. I think on offense, you're really going to have to establish that here. And I think they're going to lean heavier on the run game. And another thing I don't want you guys to sleep on is Hunter Renfro. He's a guy who's an example of toughness. I think he dealt with a UCL issue. He's also was unemployed, and now he's coming back. And everything that I've seen out of camp so far has been simply just, I mean, it's amazing. I like it, you know. No disrespect to the T Max of the world and Xavier Leguess of the world, but I think old school he got something left to offer, right? He's gonna be the guy that he's gonna go through him and Thielen. And you'll see some sprinkle of Xavier Leggett and T Mac. They're gonna have their time, okay? But Hunter Renfro didn't come here for no reason. No, I don't think he's gonna have 1,000 yards or nothing like that. But I think he's gonna be more of an asset than you guys even can fathom. You know what I mean? So I'm all right with that. But toughness is more than just words. It's a mindset, right? Toughness is more than just a physical thing. It's a mindset, right? And the Panthers haven't been tough. That's why I kind of like. I spoke on it the other day when it comes to like the quarterback and even like the receiver plays and stuff. I like to see a little fieriness, right? There's nobody on this team that I can say is just outright fiery. Okay, so as much as Cam Newton kind of got on my nerves with the silly antics off the field and on the field, the silly antics and me kind of attitude. I also love Cam Newton for that very same thing. I mean, Cam is going to get in there, he's going to bust your head, and then he's going to let you know about it. Josh Norman, another guy. Josh Norman going to pick you off. He's going to let you know about it, right? You had guys that played with passion, played with fire. I can't point to one person on this team that has that kind of energy. You know what I mean? I see J.C. Horn trying to, I guess he, calls himself being fiery now. He's been a little chippy or whatever. I don't know. But I'm a kind of guy when stuff get thick, I need somebody that ain't afraid to cower out or back down. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna back down. And some people, I guess they feel like, I plan them, let my past do the talking. But sometimes you need that leader in that locker room. Even Derek Brown, he's more so of a quiet leader. You know what I mean? We need a fire injection in here. You know what I mean? We need a fire injection, and I think this young blood is gonna be the one that do it. I look at the Trevin Wallace, the Scorton and the Manley. Those guys are young, man. They lively, they're wiry, man. I love that so much. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all crying about this line. This linebacker room is gonna be the least of your problem. Because they're playing energetically wise. They're passionate, bro. They're gonna fly around. Them boys gonna fly around. They're gonna lay niggas out, bro. On God, bro. So shoot, man, they're gonna make their mistake. They're gonna make their fair share of mistakes, and that's kind of without being said, right? So don't be Captain Obvious here, but that's gonna be a room that you're not gonna have to worry about too much longer here, right? Your main thing should be worrying about this cornerback in that secondary room. I'm not sure they built the held up. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn's gonna do his thing. You know what I mean? As long as he stay healthy, we ain't got nothing to worry about over there. That defensive line outside of Derek Brown, question mark. You brought in you brought Travell Wharton in here, who's a better pass rusher than he is a run stuffer. So let's see how that works out. You know what I mean? So you got a guy that you really need to be an anchor on those edges. You got him as a pass rusher, all right? You got Bobby Brown, who's dealing with hamstring issue already in the medical tent. So that D line, shoot, man. I mean, man, my heart really wants to come out here and say this team is going to be so much better, so much better. But I can't give that endorsement, right? It's too many question marks, right? But still, man, with that being said, I can see that the foundation is being built correctly now, right? For so long, Carolina has drafted guys or signed guys that's going to be a walking turnstile, right? Guys that's going to come in, guys going to come out, yada yada yada. But now I'm starting to see a little bit clearly that they're bringing, the T Max of the world, the Scortons of the world, the Prince Manley of the world. Man, I like this. I like that so much, man. I see it. It's going to take some time, y'all. You know what I mean? It's going to take some time. And the quarterback room is a situation that's a toss up right now. I don't want to, and it's nothing personal, so please don't make it personal. I see some of you guys get in the comment section. I hate Bryce Young. No, that's not. I don't hate him. You know what I mean? I'm just a realist, okay? Shout out to 44 Trey. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for supporting the channel. He said, what Panther you got your eye on this year? Who excites you? Couple of them. Rico Dotto is on my list. I honestly see him taking Chuba Huber's job. I don't know why people aren't talking about him enough. I don't know why that guy's young. He's hungry. You know what I mean? He's been hidden behind Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in their primes. His first full time as a Dallas Cowboy running back, he did something that the Cowboys haven't done in 30 years. You know what I mean? An undrafted player to rush for 1,000 yards, something they hadn't done in 30 years in Cowboy history. So you put him behind this offensive line, which, I don't want to compare this offensive line to the Cowboys offensive line, but this is a pretty damn good running line, offensive line. Excuse my language there, but Rico Dotto, he has my endorsement. I like this kid. And I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Go Dog sick him. He's from Gamecocks, but I like him so much. DJ Wanham, guy who's coming in here. I think he got 2 years left on his contract. He was dealing with the injury where he got infection, came back. He had like 4 games where he played. But the 4 games he played in, I think he played in the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Cardinals, and there was another big game he played in. He had sacks in all of them. So I think it was the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. So all the big games that actually matter, he was there. And that was him coming off of injury. So I'm thinking year 2 for Wanham is going to be special. All right. So Wanham, you got Rico Dotto, Jimmy Horn, probably my third guy I'm keeping my eyes on. I think he's going to be a weapon to utilize, not just in the receiving game, but I think in the kickoff game, he's going to be making some plays. He might even take a couple to the house. I won't be surprised if he take 2 to the pokey. He might take 2 to the pokey this year, man. He's just that elusive. He's beating guys by 4 and 5 yards separation in practice. And again, I want to emphasize practice, but you practice how you play, and he's practicing damn well good. So, those are probably my 3 right there. Defensively, like I said, Wanham. I got Rico Dotto. I got Jimmy Horn. Who else do I want to? Oh, Prince Manley. Prince Manley, man. That guy's a beast. I mean, you could tell he's fired up. He's wiry. He's ready to go, man. You could tell it's just something about that euphemism, you know what I mean? Coming off the edge, man. If he's lined up behind Derek Brown, I think he's going to be a problem, man. He's ready to go. I'm telling you. Hey, 4-4, I can see the smoke coming off of you, Manly, dog. I'm excited, dog. I'm not even gaslighting you, man. People, I keep telling you, bro, people, you linebacker core. I'm not worried about this linebacker core, dog. Them young boys gonna eat, man. Them boys gonna eat good. I'm talking about with the French fry. But yeah, those are probably about it. You know what I mean? But the ones I'm worried about the most is probably Michael Jackson, the secondary. Last year, you dealt with a lot when it comes to stopping the run. I think they sold out and tried to, really perfect the defensive line. But like I said, Travell Wharton from Kansas City is not a good run stuffer. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But just so happen, I say, just hypothetically speaking here, if they do come in here and just bring us a marginal upgrade. Let's say we go from 32 to like, let's say 32 to like mid 20s. Let's say we're like 20, right? And stopping the run. Well, and when you take away one thing, they go to the next thing, right? So they stay if we take away the run this year, your cornerback and secondary room is going to get targeted a whole hell of a lot. And depending on who you ask, that's either a real good thing or a real bad thing. But if you ask me, I'm saying as of right now, it's not a real good thing. Because outside of J.C. Horn, I don't trust nobody. I don't trust nobody, okay? Remember we had Dane Cook? Y'all remember we got Dane Cook from Buffalo? You know Dane Cook don't play for us no more, right? I don't know what happened there, man. Shoot, who else? You got the kid from what's his name? The dude from Washington State. What's his name? Shai Smith-Wade. I barely heard anything from him in camp. And this was a guy a lot of people were saying, well, first of all, he's undersized as hell. People swore to God he was going to come here and make some. I haven't heard anything from Sway. You know what I mean? This cornerback room gives me the nightmares, man. Gives me nightmares. I think the deepest thing that we're in, the deepest part of our team is our wide receiver room. And it's not because of T-Mac and Xavier Legette. Yeah, a lot of people say, well, our wide receiver room is good because we got T-Mac, who's a stud. We got Xavier Legette. No, that's not the reason why I'm saying that. That's not the reason why I'm saying this wide receiver room good. I'm telling you, Hunter Renfrow and Adam Thielen are going to be your biggest weapon. A lot of people laughing right now, right? A lot of people laughing. Hunter Thielen, Adam Renfrow. Hunter Thielen. Adam Thielen and Hunter Renfrow. Those guys are old. Okay. You get behind them. I watch Hunter Renfrow in this training camp. And he's a technician. There's nothing that gets my blood going like a good white man just really running some crisp routes, man. Whew. He's out there showing those brothers how to do it, man. He he old. Just like Adam Thielen know he old, but them white boys, they so fundamentally sound. It's just like daddy tell him to do. All right, son, let's get back in this backyard. Plant your outside foot. Them boys technicians. I love the way they run route. He did a whip route. I don't know if you guys go on Twitter and find it on X or whatever. He did a whip route in practice that was so nasty. I said, oh my God. Gave me an ulcer looking at it. Boy, he ran a whip route that was so nasty, bro. He cut that thing out like he was going to do an out route, whip right back inside, caught that junk, kept on moving. I like Renfrow, man. I'm about this close from buying a jersey. I can't believe I said that, but I'm about this close from buying a Winthrow jersey. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's going to be a chain mover. That's the guy, he may not have 100 yards every game, but he's going to keep them chains moving. Mm-hmm. If you like Bryce Young, you want Bryce Young to stay on the field, find Renfrow. Yeah, he's going to keep those chains moving. And shout out to Jalen Croker, another young blood who I think is a reliable. If you ask me right now, who do I trust more in a big game situation, Jalen Croker or Xavier Legette? Give me Croker, please. I'm not saying that Croker is more talented than Xavier Legette, so please don't put words in my mouth. But I will say that Croker is more reliable than Xavier Legette. I'm with that all day, every day. Yeah, I'm with that program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so young stud, old stud, hell, it don't matter. They all studs. You know what I mean? Shout out to Penn F. He said, when it's game day, the quarterback got to execute for the Panthers. To win a games, the defense show up or show out. Or show up or not. I'm sorry. Thank you, man. You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, you can do this toughness thing where you got to make this team more tougher. But the person who needs to be tougher the most is the quarterback. You got to be tough. Is that the quarterback got to be tough? And I agree with you. It really don't matter how tough this defense is or not, because I think this team is going to bend. It's going to bend. It's going to break a couple times, right? It's going to bend. It's going to bend. It's going to break. But at the end of the day, I don't think this defense is going to get ran over. They've been saying a lot about how Carolina's going to be a team that you're not going to want to face. That's what they've been saying. Okay, this is the buzz coming out of camp. We're going to be a team that nobody wants to face. Only reason why I can see that right now is, well, I mean, y'all not gonna have no good food in the concession stand. We don't want to face them. They don't have any good food in the concession stand. If you're talking about nobody wants to face you because you're tough, well, that's a lie. That's the only reason why they're not gonna face you, because you ain't got them. You ain't got that barbecue. I'm messing. I'm joking. So don't get mad. Oh, unsubscribe and don't do all that. Nah, right now I just don't see it. Right. A lot of this is, I don't know what this is about Carolina. Y'all boys do a lot of talking in there. This whole, and we've seen this before with Matt Rule. If you guys don't remember, Matt Rule had a mantra. What was the Matt Rule DOB board? What's it called? Don't beat ourselves. What is it? Don't beat DBO board. Don't beat ourselves. Y'all remember that? We've seen this whole see like what Canales is doing with the culture of toughness. They had a board in Carolina called "Don't Beat Ourselves," and every time you turn over or something, you know what I mean, you touch the board or whatever. Look, it's cute, it's catchy, it's I'm not mad at it, dog. I'm not mad at it at all. Whatever floats your boat, but at the end of the day, like who's this in the chat? Like my man Penn said, at the end of the day, man, the quarterback just got to play great. You know what I mean? The quarterback got to be the one that kind of overcome this. He got to be mentally tough. I watched Brett Favre for years. Brett Favre throw 3-4 interceptions and come back and still win. If you guys don't know who Brett Favre is, open up your thesaurus. But I watched this guy literally, man, turn the ball over left and right. But he was so tough that I'm coming out here, I'm going to keep on slinging it, right? And to be fair to Bryce, like I said, last year his receivers led the league, second in the league when it comes to drop passes. They were second in the league when it comes to deep ball drop passes. So for a lot of people who say Bryce don't throw the ball, Bryce was probably one of the most accurate when it comes to throwing the ball deep. I think he was 66% accurate on his deep ball passes. Unfortunately, the wide receivers were second in the league when it comes to dropping those passes at that depth. So I got to give Bryce that credit. He put the ball where it needs to be. Niggas just don't catch it. But unfortunately, man, I just, it's one of them things where I get it, man. Toughness is a problem, but it's more of a mindset, right? We went out here and we got a quarterback who's, undersized, but he was a winner in Alabama. And, I don't really want to go down this rabbit hole with Bryce, but when you look at toughness, and you gotta hold your quarterback accountable for that word, right? When I say the word toughness, everybody in here should say, what is the quarterback doing? Right? When I look at the Commanders, toughness, Jaden Daniels, I know he's every bit of the word. Going up there in Philly, beating Philly. Going on the road, beating the Lions in the playoff. Look at Baker Mayfield. When I see tough, Baker is the definition of toughness. I love Baker, man. Baker, whew, that boy gutsy, man. He gutsy, He'll talk trash, throw you a middle finger, and throw you 3 touchdowns on you, right? Toughness. Josh Allen, toughness. You know what I mean? So, and despite that, I mean, no matter what that defense do, and sometimes those defenses for those respective quarterbacks don't necessarily play up to par, but they're always in it because those quarterbacks are tough. They're tough, man. They're tough. I don't see the translation with Bryce. I'm not saying that Bryce isn't talented, okay? So Bryce does do some things really well. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, are those guys? And again, I don't want to cause division, and that's not my goal. But when they're in that huddle and they're down by X amount of points, and they look up and they look at Bryce, do you really think they believe that they can come back? I seen games where Bryce throw interception, pick 6, immediately their head dropped down. That's one thing I used to hate about Cam Newton, right? Now, Cam Newton was tough. Don't get it wrong. Cam was extremely tough. But once you got in Cam's head, remember I told you, toughness is not just physical, right? The best quarterbacks and the best team are mentally tough, right? And that was something that Cam Newton lacked. Cam Newton was physically tough, yeah. Cam Newton run you over, stiff arm you, dab on you. But Cam mentally wasn't tough. If you could get inside Cam's head, break him, man, Cam get that towel on. Y'all remember that? Cam used to put the towel on his head and interception soak. I used to hate that so much. Man. But Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, man, we go as far as Bryce takes us. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it. Talented kid, man. Talented kid, man. But the culture of toughness, I think it really implies to one person. You know what I mean? No matter how much hype job you can do, I do think there's like I said earlier, what started off. I think there is a measure of toughness that transitions throughout the entire team, offense and defense. But really, the guy who you need to be tough the most is your quarterback. hmm Shout out to Jermaine. He says, "How is Bryce Young not tough? Is he soft?" No, I don't think he's soft. I don't think he's soft, man. But like, let's keep it about. Let me throw the Uno card at you. I'm gonna throw the Uno reverse card at you, Jermaine. When you look at Bryce Young, do you fear him as a quarterback? Do you fear no matter what situation you put Bryce Young in, whether he's down by 10 or whether he's down by 3? Do you feel like you're safe? Does you feel like that lead is safe if you're up by 3 or if you're down by 10? Do you feel like that lead is safe? Because I heard players that talk about, when you're facing a Patrick Mahomes or you're facing a Josh Allen and you're up by 10 points, you know good damn well you're not safe. You know good damn well you're not safe if you're up by 10 against Josh Allen. You know good damn well if you're up by 10 against Lamar Jackson, you're not safe. You know them boys got that dog in them. You know you're not safe. You know what I mean? You know you're not safe when them boys, you know what I mean? Now let me ask you that question for Bryce. If you're up by 10 against Bryce, do you feel safe? I'm not making fun of, but that's just tough. Like that's just tough, bro. Like I'm not, man. Maybe let me shut up. you know, because I know team personally, man. You know what I mean? We if you get up by 10 on the Panthers, dog, shoot, it's not you. You might as well go ahead and call the hotel and say we on the way home. You know what I mean? It's not always on him, man. Shout out to Cool Cab. He said put it in context because he looked good because of the pieces he had. Explain. What are you talking about? Cam Newton? Who looked good because of the pieces that he had? Explain that to me. Shout out to Eli. He said, wasn't Bryce crying? I don't remember. I don't remember if he was. Jermaine said there's only 3 quarterbacks that I fear: Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. Well, I respect that, but you're missing a few in there. But I respect that. Joe Burrow definitely is a guy who has a tough mindset. Patrick Mahomes is a tough mindset. Josh Allen, I definitely would throw Lamar Jackson in there. I would throw Lamar Jackson in there too. Um, who else? Who else could I throw in there? What about what about Jared Goff? Believe it or not, Jared Goff is a dog too. Don't forget he'll hang 500 on you too. I don't know if he's necessarily tougher. I don't know. I don't know if he deserves to be in that category. But he can get the business too. Yeah. C.J. Stroud, man. C.J. Stroud, he's not there yet. I don't want to anoint him quite just yet. He's good, but he can be broken. He can mentally broke. Jaden Daniels, yeah, he's yeah. If you ask me, he's a tough guy. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is a tough guy. You know good darn well, man. You're gonna get the best out of him. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and put him up there with the elites, the Burrows, the Mahomes, and the Josh Allen. Put him up there, dog. He deserves to be up there. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, no, no, no. Let's leave Hurts off the list. I'm with Cam Newton. Let's leave Jalen Hurts off the list. No disrespect to Jalen Hurts, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's leave him off the list for right now. hmm But my point that I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, man, is this team has to be um, does have to have a culture toughness surrounded around them. But I think it's more so on the quarterback, right? And they have to be more so not physically, mentally, or not physically tough, but mentally tough. And you'll see. You'll see. And what does a mental tough team look like, right? What does a mentally tough team look like? A mentally tough team looks like when you're plus on the turnovers, right? When you're causing turnovers at a rate in which you're not giving the ball away. You're getting more turnovers than you're doing. I mean, you're taking away the ball more than you're giving away. That's a mentally tough team, right? A mentally tough team is when you dominate the fourth quarter, right? Those are mentally tough teams, right? Mentally tough teams in tight games to come out victorious, right? You're not losing games by 3-10. Those are mentally tough teams, right? Mentally tough teams are teams that come back from their mistakes, right? Even if you do turn the ball over once or twice, you're mentally sound and disciplined enough to overcome that, right? This is what I'm talking about when I say mentally tough, right? That's what I mean. So if your team members or your quarterback doesn't, and I don't want to just put it on Bryce. Like I said, that's not my goal, but he does. He's part of the team. So if your team and your teammates don't fit that narrative as of right now, as of July 29th, they're not tough. And if Bryce don't fit that narrative, he's not tough. Just wrong with the other 90 players out there right now. Those examples I just gave you, if they you can't say, well, we're plus on the takeaways than we are on the giveaways. We win more fourth quarters than we lose fourth quarters. You know what I mean? We win more tight games than we lose. If you can't say yes, yes, yes across the board, they're not tough. Yeah. So I don't care about no big hit. Shout out to Trevin and Wallace. I mean, I'm glad you knocked them around, made you feel good. But at the end of the day, that you know, like I said, you can get the practice squad player to knock somebody out, man. Do what I just asked you to do. Win them fourth quarters. Take away, then you give away. Win the tight games. You know what I mean? Dominate a team from that's what I want to see. To me, that's impressive. I'm impressed you do that. You do that shit for 16 weeks, yeah. Yeah, I come on this podcast every day. Hey guys, today the Panthers did suck your all up for y'all. If you want to see Big Cat become a sellout, go ahead and dominate the game for 16 weeks like that. I'll be like some of your other favorite podcasts. Man, the Panthers gonna win Super Bowl. Hey, I come on here every day. Panther win Super Bowl. Panther win Super Bowl. Dominate the game for 16 weeks, 17 weeks, start to finish. Panther win Super Bowl. Y'all be ready to cash app. What's your cash app? What's your cash app? I'm gonna give you some money for your cash app. I'm not ready to say that yet. Once they do it, they prove it, then I give you praise. I'm a fear guy, right? You do what you're supposed to do. You take care of the business. You take care of the rudimentary things. And the rudimentary things are fundamentally sound, fundamentally disciplined, right? Fundamentally, right? What made Tom Brady good for almost 20-something years is he was fundamentally sound. The reason why he could take a team full of misfits, right? Outside of Ron Gronkowski and a couple other players, that nigga didn't have nobody on that offense. Them niggas stayed with a new running back every year, bro. Every year, them niggas had a new running back there, bro. You had Amendola and you had Edelman. And then they had a bunch of other off-brand receivers. And they had 1 year with Randy Moss. But Tom Brady made sure them boys were fundamentally sound. Bill Belichick had that defense. That's why I love Bill Belichick's style of coaching. You're going to get with the program or you're going to get on. I don't care about what your name say on the back. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer or not. If you're not sound enough, if you're not going to play a culture of toughness mentally, you cannot be on this field. I don't care what round you were drafted in. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what your Hall of Fame stats is. When we get like that, the Panthers are going to be hell on earth. They will be hell on earth once they get like that. But until then, you're going to have to come up with these gimmicks and play these games and, you know what I mean, paint these false narratives about how and who and, you know what I mean? But listen, let me say this. I'm going to open up to my guests right here. I'm going to say this. I'm proud of this team. I think they're headed in the right direction, but they're just not there, y'all. They're not there. They're not there. I'm proud of them. We're getting there. This might be another 2 or 3 years, but we're not there. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Yo, C-Duggy, what's up?
No, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes because I'm gonna make you laugh too hard. You just want the fisticuffs
Let me
in
hear it.
the cooler. That's all it is.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I said you want them to fisticuffs in that cooler. That's all. Yeah, I got time for you tonight. I'm gonna give you a good 5 minutes because you already know what I'm talking about.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
I will give you a good 5 minutes. Now
Let's hear it.
I told you in the comment, like you'll know how tough, and I wrote it in the comment at night. You'll know how tough this team is next week, and you'll know how mentally tough Bryce is going against the number 2 overall pick, another quarterback here in joint practice week 2. So yeah, I mean you'll know the toughness of this football team, this coaching staff, and these players on the team.
Scale of 1 to 10, where are they at right now with the toughness?
I give it a 6.
Why?
I mean, five. I believe I'll say five before Trevin Wallace gave the Ed nod not to Chuba Hubbard, but six, and you literally had a fight on the first day of pads.
Yeah.
First day of pads. Most of the time, it take day two, day three, so it definitely shows that they are definitely trying to change the narrative. And like you said, is it a false narrative that Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers are trying to put on by being a tough physical football team? But he talked about it in this presser that I feel like a lot of players here didn't want to be physical. So, I mean, like I said, I think a six is a good start. And then, like I said, you really know going forward next week against the Browns, and then the following week coming down to Houston.
I stay right there. Now, you keep harping on physical, and I appreciate that there. But mentally tough. How tough is this team mentally?
You don't know. You
Right.
don't know.
Right.
You don't know.
That's
I
fair.
ain't even going. I'm not even going to give an answer to that. We don't know because again, what we're only they didn't play in pads today. I did hear him say that they'll have a longer padded practice tomorrow. So mentally tough, you'll know that by tomorrow because Heat. Um, I'm like I saw Chris Greaves. Yeah, I ain't changed. I don't care. Y'all already know my government name. It don't. It don't bother me. Look, BK didn't set it on streams. People didn't call it on streams. Hey, I ain't worried about it no more. Um, you'll know tomorrow because this heat, and I'll use what Jalen Hurts even said. He said this heat will really make you show who's a boy and who's a man. So with them having a longer practice in this heat tomorrow, we'll really see how mentally tough this team is tomorrow. Coming back, you had an off day. We'll see who comes out, what type of practice that they have tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I kind of agree with you, but I think it's going to be a little longer than that. I think it's week one. Week one, we're in Jacksonville. If you guys don't know, the humidity in Florida is
Yep,
off the chain,
yep,
and
yep.
it's going to be hot as hell. The humidity coming off that water, you know, he has the way of humbling your ass. In case you
Well, I
don't know.
just tell you this, BK. Whenever
Yeah.
I was just a military dude, I told you. You asked me what the temperature was in Jersey. It was
Hmm.
about 90, and you had an 80% humidity. That's sweat. That's different type of humidity because that's that dripping humidity.
Yeah.
And again, that's how Jacksonville is. It may be in the 90s, but the humidity is over 70%.
Oh yeah.
So,
From your perspective from last year, a lot of people have mixed reviews about Bryce. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? I have the right to reserve that, but I don't get mad at anybody who believes Bryce is good. Okay, that's their right to reserve. In your opinion, only. Um, Toughness, scale of 1 to 10, Bryce.
7.5, almost an 8.
Mm. By the way, you guys are listening to the eclectic sound of What's Up, Doug. Doug, you mind telling them your channel?
Hey, it's your man C Dougie, yeah, aka Craig, aka what was the one thing you used to call me lips? Hey, like I said, y'all can find me at What's Up Doug, WASSUP space DOUG. Like I said, we just put some content out yesterday. We had Vashti from Carolina Blitz. We got some more people coming up who have boots on the ground for training camp. So I definitely appreciate Big Cat giving me that space to shout out the channel and let you guys go check it out.
Now, by the way, these are real sources, right?
When I'm not even doing that with you, but
Yeah, yeah.
when have I ever gave you a false source?
That's
That's all
right.
I'm say.
That's right. Let me ask you this real quick. I want to come back to you on that Bryce Young real quick. How's Bradbury, man? Have you spoke with him? Or?
So you talking about my guy? You talking about James? James
Mm-hmm.
is kind of done with football.
Mm.
He did tear his Achilles last year, if I'm not mistaken, or he had a lower leg injury. He's been doing a lot in the Birmingham and Hoover area. So that's his roots. He is from Birmingham, Alabama. So I don't know if he still has a desire to really play ball. I mean, he's really done everything he needs to do. Came from Arkansas State, transferred to Sanford, made it to the league, was a decent corner, um, won a Super Bowl ring, regardless of how you guys feel about it. But to me, I feel like James Bradbury has done a lot, and I think a lot of players are hanging it up earlier than what we'll like. So I think if he doesn't sign with anybody this year or a contender, I think James Bradbury's done. So I think he's definitely done enough. I don't know about a Hall of Fame, but I mean he's done enough and beat the odds.
I absolutely love Bradbury, man. I think I had him followed on my old Instagram, but I got to follow him again. Hell of a guy, hell of a player. And like I always brag about how he's fundamentally sound with his technique. I would love to see him back in Carolina at least one more, just give it one more ride, man. You know what I mean? If you could put a little bug in his ear and say, yo,
Hey,
man,
I was gonna say you already know if he come back, you already know I got that number
yes,
locked
sir.
in. So that's too easy to do.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. He don't tell him don't hang it up just yet, nigga.
I mean, let's be real. Did we ever think Luke Kuechly was gonna hang it up so early?
No, not at all.
So I do like where men, I'm not talking NFL players, men just know it's time to just go on and do something else. So I do respect that, but I do agree. I really hated when he did leave the black and blue. So
Absolutely. He got him a ring. I'm happy, man. Anytime a former Panther can get him a ring, I think that's special too. Let me go back here because I just want to kind of backtrack with the Bryce Young. You said he's at a 7.5 toughness, right?
yes, I gave it 7.5.
Mhm. Is there any particular reason why? Or
Um, One thing, and I remember when we were having a debate, and you're an SEC guy, I'm an ACC guy. I mean, toughness is just not about play, like you said. It goes with mental, physical. The man can sit there and take a hit with anybody. And the game that it's a couple of games that I just look at the Philadelphia game. I mean, if you're talking mental toughness, he had it right there. Physical toughness, he had it going against that defensive line. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at how he played, and I'll say him. I mean, he played bad against Tampa Bay, and then regardless of how you feel about the Atlanta Falcons defense, came back, bounced back, and that shows toughness. You can't win every one. I mean, we want people to do it, but with the way this team was built last year, there was no way that we will win certain games. But for him to bounce back, even when he had most of the blame for certain games. Like I said, that last game, you just really saw the toughness, and it really showed that the game slowed down for him.
yeah, I definitely see the growth in Bryce. Um, I think physically he's definitely tough. I mean, a lot of people I remember they were saying his first hit he's going to fall apart or whatever, but he's taken some big hits throughout his couple years here. Mentally, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have no disdain towards Bryce, right, man. It's one of them things where I have yet, like for example, Cam, right? Cam had that big game against the Eagles. Remember when he was on the road? Nobody in NFL history ever came down from 17 on the road, and he went to the Eagles and he came back from 17 in the fourth quarter. Like to me, that's just a display of just mental determination along with physical uh, giftedness as well. So to me, like Bryce needs that signature kind of performance, right? He needs
Yeah.
a signature performance where you just say, "Damn, it took every ounce of a dog to bark. It took every ounce of a dog to bark that thing." You know what I mean? I just,
So I'll tell you this. You said week one, I'll give you that. If
mhm.
Carolina comes out and is at home, headed to possibly a 3-0 and then playing a division opponent, that's when you'll really know as well, too. Because we really haven't had success like that in years as Panther fans and as an organization. Going on the
Well,
road, back-to-back games, and then you come home for your home opener, you already know how the crowd and the city's gonna be rocking. It's just on the team and on him.
yeah. Well, see, Doug, why you trying to you trying to hurry up and make this nigga great? Here's my thing. I got a test, bro. Here's my test. Weeks 5 through 8. If Bryce comes out of there on the positive side, I'll give him a little love, right?
What's the positive side?
We
Five
got a we got that's those are 4 weeks. You got the Miami Dolphins, you got the Dallas Cowboys, you got
Packers, right?
mm-mm, Dolphins, Cowboys, Jets, and Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
If you come out of there on a positive, that's 3-1. You coming out on a positive, I gotta give you credit, bro. If you beat the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills, or let's say you go hell, if you 2-2, you're not gonna get as much credit, but I'll give you some credit if you come out there 2-2. Jets defense is not a joke. The Cowboy. How the Cowboys, bro, be so sorry on defense, and them boys still had 53 sacks. The Cowboys were one of the sorriest teams last year and still had 53 sacks. Tell me where they do that at, bro. Bro, hey, that stretch from week 5 to 8 is a monster, dog. Bryce, you want some credit? You want some toughness? Come out of there on the positive side. That's why I say week 1, the Jaguars, they're talented. You know what I mean? I give them some credit, but them niggas ain't. You know, if we beat the Jaguars, I got them. I actually have us winning that game.
I'll
That ain't.
say this.
Yeah,
I don't want you to give them credit. If we come out, okay, do we have to be 3-1 or 2-2 before
we
I
could
be
be 2-2. We could be 2-2. Yeah, 2-2.
all right? Can you go back to the heydays when you were tackling the dummies? I don't know if you got the dummies. I need you to do something exotic. I need
I
you to
don't
do
know if I'm
something.
ready to tackle the dummy again.
No, you said give him his credit. If
Yeah, I
he
will give his
so
credit.
let's just say he go 3-1 in that stretch.
Yeah,
You got to do something.
I tell you what. Hell, he don't even have to go 3-1. If he beat my favorite quarterback, Josh Allen, man, I'll take a Cialis and hey Doug, if I he beat Josh Allen, I'll take a Cialis and come on in. Hey Doug, I'll take a Cialis and put it on a football helmet. If he can fuck around and beat Josh Allen, dog, yeah. Oh yeah. That you got my respect. Cause that Josh Allen is out of this world, man. I don't care what
Look,
that defense look like. He's built like that.
look, you.
Dolphins, man, you got. I mean, shoot, man. That to me, that's gonna be on the if we win that game, that defense is going to step up.
So I'll say this. What if we go 3-1? That's the only game we lose.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna give him credit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because bro, you think about it. You don't think that stretch brutal? Dolphins, Cowboys, Jets, and Bills. You don't think that's a brutal stretch?
That's one of the brutal stretches, correct.
Mm-hmm. And we
Correct.
got 2 of those games at home. That's the sad part about it.
They ain't sad. That's a good thing.
Well, if you win, is a good Doug. It's good if you win, my nigga. But I don't. You know what? To believe it or not, I actually think the Dolphins is a winnable game. I don't know Tua Tagovailoa. He's shot, and A Chain. He's good, but um, that offensive line ain't what it used to be. And to me, the only person you really
The
worried about
Dolphins
is
go as far as their running game. I know everybody's gonna talk
Mhm.
about Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Yes, I understand they have wide receivers, but like you said, the offensive line and with the way our defensive line is revamped, I
Mhm.
think we win the line of scrimmage. But again, the one thing, and you're saying Bryce, and I'm not trying to take it off Bryce.
Yeah,
With everything that we have brought in defense, and we can't stop the run, that's a rinse and repeat. I can care
yeah,
less.
yeah.
Bryce can do his thing. He can come out guns a blazing, 5 touchdowns. This is and that. You're going to be in a fight every single game. Every
Hmm.
single game.
Hmm. You're right, man. I wish I could say this line is fixed too. I don't necessarily believe it because, like I said, and again, I'm not want to be one of these stat stuffing guys, but as I looked over the numbers, right, I look at Travell Wharton. I wanted to see why we brought him in. Travell Wharton is good, but he's more so of a pass rusher. He's not necessarily known for to stop the run. So
Well, that's what you got Bobby Brown the third for.
yeah, but he's already hurt. So to me, like is this a pattern? I mean, again, I don't want to be negative. I'm not trying to spare fear, but I'm like, damn, bro, Derek Brown, he's taking some precautionary, you know. You remember K1 Short, right? Remember K1 Short? Once K1
KK and
started getting
Star.
hurt,
KK and Star.
yeah. But you remember when KK started to get hurt, it was over for that nigga. Remember?
Yeah. He started going down slow.
Yeah, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, then Derek Brown was it a pectoral muscle or was it a knee? Which one was it last year?
His knee.
Oh, okay,
His knee.
but wasn't it there a year before? I'm think he had like a pec muscle like a year before. Then he had some with his pecs like a year before.
You talking when he started wearing that brace.
Yeah, it was something like that like a year before he had another injury.
Yeah, that's the time he was wearing that brace on his arm.
Yeah. So I'm like, are we starting to see the decline of him slowly? Now I'm not
I
saying that he's
doubt that
going.
yet. I doubt that's too early to say.
Yeah. Shout out to Mama Brown too, man. But no, I'm not speaking crazy or nothing. I'm just like just trying to lay everything out. Who's the toughest guy on this team?
I'll say DB.
Hmm. That's fair.
I'll say DB.
Yeah. Offensive line, man. How you feeling, man? A lot of people feel like
That's the
they.
top 8 unit. Nothing's gonna fall from that
Mhm.
unit. It's a top 8 unit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. Shout out to the man in the chat. He say he want to know my cash app. Let me put my cash app in the screen real quick. Give me 1 second, Doug. Let me drop the cash app. Here's the cash app for you guys. You ain't gotta send shit. I'm not asking for it, but if you want to, feel free. Let me put it right there. You can show me some love if you choose to. Back to football here, man. Uh Man, I gotta tell you, man, just to make it break a season for Bryce,
You asking or you telling me?
I'm asking.
I'll say year three. I mean, he knows the playbook. The game is slowed down. There should be no reason for regression. Regression is sophomore year. Year three, you really should be able to show why you were drafted number one, what you bring to the table. And again, I like how the national media, some national media people are saying that, they believe in Bryce. Bryce will bounce back. They love the acquisition that we did. I believe that he will have a good year. I
Mm-hmm.
really.
And you've been watching camp like most of us here, or catching the highlights. Okay, I know it's not open to the public here. What have you been seeing that caught your eye?
Uh, I
Quantum, what's up?
I definitely like, the wide receiver and DB battles. But again, like I said, for me, it starts next week. It
Mm,
really starts next week.
yeah.
When
Who,
when
who
when
who in
when
particular
the
do you like?
Cleveland Browns come next week for joint practice, I'm not worried about their offense. I'm worried about what their defense does to our offense. If our offense looks good, then whenever they come for a couple snaps during preseason game number one, I'm good.
Mhm. Let me take a pause here, y'all. This is a recording for 1995 The Roar. I'm gonna take this down and put this on the new channel. Okay, so make sure you follow over there if you haven't already. Check, just type it in 1995 The Roar. This will be up there in a few minutes here or later on tomorrow. Now, back to C Dougie here. Me personally, I've been watching camp, and a lot of people has a lot to say about the T Max, the Jimmy Horns. You know what I mean? And hell, I heard a little bit about it. Look at, but one guy who I'm excited about is Hunter Renfro. Man, I'm literally, hey, Doug, I'm literally gushing at the tip for for Hunter Renfro, man. I like a good old underdog story, man.
There
And
you go, with Jussie Alice
I
story.
know, right? Hey, Hunter Renfro is a beast, man. Like I said, he doesn't have the test. So, you say Hunter Renfro's the guy? Literally, I'm not saying Hunter Renfro is Superman, right? He may not even get past 600 yards, but you're talking about efficiency, you're talking about route running, you're talking about good hands.
Can I throw a name
Sure,
out? And
sure.
it's not a comparison, but what he did when he was here. You remember what Jericho Cotchery did
Yep.
that Super Bowl run?
Mm-hmm.
I do think Hunter Renfro has better route running than Jericho Cotchery, and I do believe he has better hands. But
Mm-hmm.
Jericho Cotchery was not your number one wide receiver. I
Sure.
know, I understand we had injuries that year and everything, but I can see Hunter Renfro having an impact just like Jericho Cotchery, along with this wide receiver room.
Absolutely. Now, on the flip side of things, who hasn't had a camp that you would expect to have, man?
I'm
You ever
not
heard?
doing that.
Who's that?
You already, I mean, I'll say this, like, and hopefully whenever I go to games, he don't, point or try to jump on me,
Mhm.
you know how some players like to jump on us content creators,
Oh
but
yeah, of course.
I will say this. Mike Jack is one that I just have to see. And I understand from OTAs all the way to training camp, he's had the short end of the stick. Now, again, you're about to have these joint practices. He can really shut the doubters up. He can really shut the haters up. He can really shut me up because, again, I think a lot of people are doubting him as being QB. I mean QB CB2.
Mhm.
So for me, that's the one player I do need to see line up across the line with another helmet on the side of the another logo on their helmet to see how well he does.
Yeah, I don't really have too much faith in him. Um, I think it was a fluke last year. I mean, that's just my personal opinion here, man. But I think he's gonna be tested. You know what I mean? You got let me pull a schedule up here quick. I'm looking at some number twos here because obviously J.C. Horn will be covering number ones.
Not
Just
the first game. You got Travis Hunter and you got Brian Thomas Jr. Pick your poison.
well, I'm not worried about Travis Hunter. I mean, that motherfucker.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. You just said last year was a fluke for Mike Jack.
Yeah.
So I mean, we got first game out the gate.
Well, I think he's good enough to check Travis Hunter. I think Travis will get. Look, I'm gonna say this. I think Travis Hunter have about 70 yards. He'll have a touchdown on offense, and he'll maybe get like a pick on defense.
That's
You
not a
know,
good game. Then that's not a good game for us.
well, shit. I mean, he's he's still electric now. I'm not gonna. I know he's gonna have a pick. If I'm a betting man, I know he's getting a pick on Bryce.
So
I'm willing to bet
do you
that.
think he'll get a pick or he'll get a touchdown?
A pick. He'll probably get a. I'm taking them over on his pick more so than a touchdown. Yeah, if I had to bet, I think he's good enough to cover Travis Hunter. Week 2, you got Arizona. I don't think he's nobody to worry about there. Week 3, you got who you got? Darnell Mooney and the
Now
Falcons.
Mooney's hurt right now, so you just got Drake
Oh,
London.
oh shit. Well, then week 4, you got what you got? Stephon Diggs. And who's their number 2? Who's that guy that they had
That's
at
the
number
boy they
2?
drafted last year. Is it Polk?
Polk, and there's another one though.
They just drafted another one. I just know Polk and Stefan. I haven't looked at other teams'
hmm
rosters that deep.
hmm Yeah. But if you ask me who I think is kind of had a quiet camp here, man. Yeah, asking me personally, man. I ain't really, Leggett has had some flashes here and there, but I haven't heard like I've been hearing more about T Mac and his
Which is a good
phenomenal
thing.
catch. Yeah.
That's a good thing. Again, I thought the question you said who hasn't had a good camp, but I think a quiet camp is a good thing because if your name is not with the wide receivers making drops and when he's getting the ball thrown to him, you haven't heard, oh, Etzel is dropping the ball.
hmm
So, like I said, I thought again, like I said, not having a good camp, meaning that
Yeah.
again, he's in the highlights. Mike Jack has been in every highlight. Having a rookie come out and doing things. You had Etzel, Adam Thielen. So
hmm
I think for me, when have when can you say we've had a roster where we've had a talented wide receiver room or certain talent on certain positions where you're like, oh, I don't want to lose any player in that particular room. When's the last time you've been able to say that?
It's been a while. It's been a while. I can't necessarily think of a time frame, but it's been a while. I know that.
So that's a good thing.
That wide receiver room is definitely deep, and I think somebody. How many think we keep? About 6 or what?
Well, I heard you. I had Vash on yesterday. She said six. I'm on this particular year. When I have these reporters and people that's at camp, I'm gonna take their word more than what I'm thinking in my mind because they're there.
Yeah.
So again, somebody said seven, she said no, she said six. So I'm gonna stick with six.
Let's
And then
let's let's pull that depth chart up real quick.
I can give you the names in the six. We'll
Mhm.
start with Adam Thielen. Then you got Etzel, you got Coker, you got Tech, Hunter Renfro, and then she said Jimmy Horn.
Mm. That's about right. So I mean, what I mean, nobody else really matters. I mean, you look at it. I mean, you got what
I
David
mean,
Moore.
now somebody goes down with injury, you might slide David Moore in there.
Man, I'm ready for his old ass to get on, man. To be honest with you, man. I'm sick of him, man. I mean, we got enough of old people on our roster. Thielen and Hunter are old enough. You know what I
Hunter Renfro's really not old. He just look old. Let's be real. Let's be real.
How old is Hunter? Oh, 29. Yeah, that's kind of old, man. Kind of old. You concerned about this offensive line? I mean, you
I
already
told you
got a
I'm not. I told you I'm not.
they got a camp battle. I mean, K Mays, Corbett, and you guys Lavala already hurt again. I mean, it's
Well,
thunder.
I think Zavala gets cut this year, and then one of those
Yeah,
rookies step up.
good point. I think he's on the chopping block too. I don't care what nobody says. My man hasn't necessarily lived up to it, and he's staying injured here, man. I think they're gonna make a move on from him. Especially if you listen to the press conference today where he was talking about Carter being able to play those guard positions too, man. So that lets me know, you in trouble when they start mentioning how well backups play. You know,
Yeah.
another guy who I think that I don't know if he signed an extension or not. Taylor Moton. I was hoping they would draft another tackle. I wish they would have had either traded back. You know what I mean? In the first round. I like T Mac. Don't get me wrong, but we could have traded back and probably got a solid right tackle and still got another cornerback and a receiver. We still could have got the holy trifecta, but I think T Moton's on his last leg. He's been our rock for a long time, but I think it's almost time for him to call it quits here soon.
I honestly think they'll get one next year. I think they did try,
Hmm.
but the board just fell too sweet for those two young, uh, future dynamic duo DNs.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I think we didn't draft one. But I do think Timo, if not next year, because I think that 32 mil does help. But
Hmm.
I do think he's definitely at his end. Definitely think he's at his end. Um, Only I don't like Josh Nyman. I do like Brady Christensen over Josh Nyman, but hey, like I said, I think Timo would do like what he's done every year, basically stay healthy. He may miss a game here or there, but I'm not too worried. Again, I'm not worried about this offensive line at all right now.
When it comes to biggest I guess shocking prediction for this team roster, what do you got for this year?
Are you talking about somebody making a roster or
Yeah,
what is
it's up to you. Roster, team, schedule. I mean, what's your biggest prediction?
that? I don't want to give too much because I still got
Okay.
so I will say this though because I said it last night. Somebody asked about my win or lose prediction. I said that we'll either win the South or we'll make one of the wild cards. I
Let me
got
ask you this. You're in the military, right?
Mhm.
Now, no disrespect, but do they drug test you there?
Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
I'm joshing. I'm joshing.
You
Don't
know,
hate
you
me.
know, you know, you know. I know. That's the reason I laugh. But again, that's the reason why I pray.
Yeah.
No, matter of fact, I'm gonna really make this since we doing content.
Yeah, man.
I need Bryce Young to beat the Buffalo Bills so you can hit that live with Cialis in your system, and I just sit there as yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I want. That's
If
what I
they
want
if
right
they do that, that's a bet. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pitch a tent with that helmet on, man. I got a black helmet I be wearing. If you watch the content, I be
You know I do.
I'll put that shit on.
Look, you was
I'm
in
gonna
that
go
living room.
crazy.
Look, you was in that living room line dancing almost. You was never for the defense, but you was line dancing. You don't want to tell people.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Well, my bold prediction is this year, man. I got Marion Barber, not Marion Barber, Rico Dowdle. I keep calling Marion Barber. I got him eventually succeeding Chuba Hubbard. You know, old pretty boy. I like Chuba, man, but nigga too pretty for me, man.
You just didn't like the comment he made about him getting hit. I watched
Yeah.
the video on 199 The Roar. I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw it. I saw what you said.
Was it bad? Was it but too bad? I mean, I liked Rico Dowdle. He's a you know him, bro. You live in Dallas, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, right?
the Cowboys are very well. Cowboy fans are very upset that they basically traded out Miles Sanders for Rico Dow. They
Shout
do
out to
not like.
Jerry Jones.
That's a whole nother topic. You
Thank you,
already
Jerry
know.
Jones. He gave us a gift. That boy's bad, man.
I mean, Miles Sanders only had one good year, and then he got basically benched during the playoffs when they made it to the Super Bowl and lost.
Hmm.
So, I mean, Miles Sanders said he was better than Chuba. How are you better than Chuba? And Chuba had 1,000 yards and, if I'm not mistaken, missed 2 games.
Yeah, he's not better than Chuba. You know what? He might have a resurgence. You know that Cowboys line pretty good. So
Well, one of their linemen is down right now, out 6 to 8 weeks. They thought he tore his ACL, but I think he got something. So they're already taking injuries right now.
golly, who nobody just retired? The white guy.
Zach Martin.
Yes, but they picked up the kid from Alabama. I thought was a great pickup too.
That was a good pickup, but you know
Hmm.
how fans are. They want that either wide receiver, running back, or some type of player that's not on the offense or defensive line.
Hmm.
So
We beating the Cowboys this year, man.
too early to tell. You ain't
No, no,
get
no, no. It's not. It's the perfect time. We beating the Cowboys.
it's too early to tell.
The answer's no, bro.
Early to tell.
That
Too
defense,
early.
bro. I'm not worried about Dak. Dak gonna give us about 2 picks, but that defense, man, it's a mess. Well, we 53
Yeah,
sacks, brother. That's a
yeah.
lot of sacks, man.
I ain't worried. Again, like I said, it's too early. And,
Yeah.
and what I do love is we're playing that game at home. I do
Mhm.
wish it was here because trust me, I will be in the building. I'll
You,
be in the
you still ain't gonna pull up?
No, man. What I tell you, I said I'm mad at everybody that
Mm.
support me. Y'all didn't tell me a waiting was expensive, so I gotta, make
Yeah.
sacrifices.
Well, let me ask you: are you banned in Charlotte, or you got to?
I told you I'll be there week 3, man. Like I
Yeah,
said, I mean,
yeah.
I'll go ahead and put it out there. Like I'm a PSL owner, so
Nice.
uh, no, I'll be selling my tickets, but no, again, like I said, playing a wedding, I can't make every game like I have, but I know next year it's definitely up where we're gonna try to make as many games as we can. But
Mm.
no, um, no, I can't make every game like I want to this year. I really can't.
Is the lucky lady a Carolina fan or what?
She's she knows this is so funny. She know who Bryce Young is. She's starting to learn the roster,
Hmm.
but she's not a big sport head.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. That's
She's
good.
not she's not a big sport head.
Now, no, not to get too personal here, but you cooking one?
No,
Huh?
no, not yet.
Oh, okay, okay,
Hey,
okay,
that's so
okay.
funny. When you said it, that's why I was like, hold on. When you said cook and use the same term, that's why I was like, no, not yet.
Take your time. Don't rush, man. You'll be just fine, brother. Just fine. Don't rush nothing. Life is beautiful, man. You got to treat life like wine. You sip it, you don't chug it, man. If not, you get too high off it. Stay even keel. Make the right decision. Keep God first, man.
Hey, Chris Griggs, we will. I need to look at what games because I did put some tickets on resale. Let me look what I did, but I will be doing like maybe 2 ticket giveaways as well, um, on the channel. And then the other ones I'm probably gonna sell, but just get at me which tickets you want. I need to go in and look what tickets I put up there for resale. But I definitely got you. So just let me know. Even if you want a preseason ticket, I don't know if I sold my preseason tickets. Let me know. So
Absolutely. Be sure to check them out. Now, before we get up out of here, I got one more little topic here I want to talk about. Canales here. Has he done enough to kind of earn your respect here, or you respect him more, a hot seat, or what's your take on thoughts on Canales?
he's definitely a player's coach. I do love how the roster, players that we brought in said that they like, Coach Canales. Um, I think he kind of doubted himself. I mean, you can tell with the play calling, he didn't trust not only the roster, but I think any first time you're a coach, you did see questionable play calling, questionable decision making. So I wouldn't say it's a make or break yet, but with the way this roster is built and the way that we like this roster, I do think um they can't go 0-3 in the beginning of the season. Like week 4 or no, week 3 after that game, they go 0-3. It'll be, riding on Mint Street again. We
Hmm.
can't have that. So,
Well, I take that back. I guess I got two more questions. I want to follow up. We thinking so much, man. I got two more questions. Look, with this being said here, Dave Tepper, he's been kind of quiet here. Is he truly hands off approach, or has he learned how to be a good man now? Or I mean, what's going on with Tep?
I think Temp is a man of his word. He said he's gonna let the football people do football things. I mean, he literally said, I think he's a man of his word. He literally
Mm-hmm.
said he's gonna allow football people to do football things. And we look at the blueprint. They were asking him for advice. He wasn't really giving much. He was literally telling them, "Hey, you guys know what you need to do. Like, I'm only here for certain things." So,
Hmm. Well, shout out to him. Let me ask you this: do you follow college football?
you know I do. You know
What
I
do
do.
you got to look out for this year? Maybe a future Panther.
Oh, now you put me on the spot on that one. You talking about that's mm,
You know the question, nigga.
Are you talking player or team?
players.
That's hard, baby, because I was just at the East and West Shrine Bowl this
Hmm.
past season, so I really haven't like BK. When I say I really haven't did a deep dive, like what we got football here at the end of the month. I do. I've been paying attention to teams, not players. Like I think Texas may do something. I need your GA boys to stay out of smoking and fast cars because I do think Georgia will make the playoffs.
Yes.
Um, who else? I hate all this Clemson talk because I'm a Tar Heel. I will say this. I do think the Tar Heels will surprise a lot of people. They're not going to be as bad as what people think.
Hmm.
Um, Penn State is another team. They did. I mean, they lost Adu Carter, but that everybody really came back except for one of the running backs. So that team is back. Um, I've been looking at teams, not in the not players. So I definitely can't answer that, but I'm definitely looking forward to college football more than pros because just at how the season started last year and how it ended with the playoff and all that. So.
Hmm.
I will say I do know this. I will be going to the East and West Shrine game again, and I plan on going to the Combine this year. So I will
Nice.
do that.
What you mentioned Bill Belichick here. Do you think that he's really gonna make some noise in Tar Heels with Tar
I
Heels?
do. I really do.
Because I know
I honestly do.
sometimes those older minded coaches, man, they tend to be a little out of date. You know what I mean when it comes to how they play and stuff. You know how they coach. Excuse me. Like you were saying, how Canales is a players coach. Bill Belichick, you know what I mean. He's more of a, like I said, he's more of a adult kind of business format. The way the college landscape is, these guys are kids, right? Kids were just I don't know if that serious translation, that toughness approach where you know come from the pros to college was going to transition. And there's no doubt he's a mastermind. I won't definitely take that away from him, man. But I'm interested to see how that works. Very interested here, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate that there, man. I'm gonna say look out for my Georgia Bulldogs, man. We got some talent on there on that defensive side of the ball. So I'm pretty sure people are gonna be wanting to snatch them up anytime they touch the field. So hopefully it works out for us. We can get us another natty. I'm hearing that we're ranked pretty high when it comes to the national consensus on defense, and we got a Gunnar Stockton returning, but we also got I think the number one quarterback out of last year, Ryan Panuski. He's coming in as a freshman. They're saying he's putting up some numbers in camp where he's slanging that thing all over the field. So it's gonna be an interesting year for my Georgia Bulldogs. But if I had to say, keep your eyes on that defense. You know, we may be getting our next piece from over there, but like I said, football's around the corner. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up here. I think what
Thursday
Thursday? Oh, I
or
can't wait, man. Thank
is it
God.
Wednesday?
Is it
No,
Wednesday?
tomorrow's Wednesday, so it's Thursday. I'm sorry.
Okay, and that's with
The
who's that?
Chargers and the Lions.
Chargers and the Lions. Who's is Hooker playing for the Lions?
I'm not sure, but I do know they said here he Justin Herbert ain't playing. I think Trey Lance is starting.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for them. They'll be running the ball 5 out of 10 times. Trey Lance has been a bust there, man. But I'm glad football's back, man. I mean,
Facts.
shoot, it's been a drought here, man. I mean, I like basketball too, but ain't nothing like the good old gridiron. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I'll give you the final word here. Anything you want to tell the people, tell them where you at again as well.
Again, like I said, I appreciate my guy. Like I said, I give him his flowers every time. If it weren't for BK, there wouldn't be a CW or a What's Up Doug. Again, you guys can find me at WASSUP space DOUG. Again, we'll be live next Thursday with our next guest to talk about week 2 and basically what they're looking forward to in week 1 preseason game. We also will be doing a members slash channel giveaway at the end of the month. But just stay tuned, man. Like I said, and a shout out to I have to do this, Emma and Cuddy Cutright for our new intro over at What's Up, Doug. If you guys want to check that out, I think we have one of the best intros, not only for Panther content creators, but for the whole NFL. So I appreciate him dropping those bars and Emma doing the visual graphics for us as well, man. But I appreciate BK as always letting me up, man.
As always, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Shout out to Emma and shout out to Cuddy, man. Good homie right there, man. Give you these final thoughts here, man. Carolina Panthers main topic today was with Dave Canales and the culture of toughness. I respect it, y'all. I respect him for coming out and saying that, he's trying to reestablish that and, trying to get the guys aboard with that. I do think there is a certain level of physical toughness that comes with it, but I more so want to see the growth and development of their mindset, right? And like C. Doug, you mentioned earlier, it's way too early, and the only thing I could do is go off of what we seen before, right? My baseline for this team. So if anybody wants to know how I think, I only base my assumptions off of things that have occurred, right? I'm not pulling my assumption out of fantasy land. My numbers are based off of things. My assumptions are based off of what happened. So based off of that, this team is not quite tough yet mentally until I can see them consistently do it day in and day out. Third down, turnovers, takeaways, fourth quarter dominance, and so on and so on. But I will give you this right here. My final thought. I think this team is in a great position and the future is bright in Carolina. I don't know if it'll be quite right now. I don't know how long it will be, man. But, rest assured they're grabbing pieces on defense. And even Bryce Young, towards the end of the season, he made some strides and stuff. And offensively, I think he does have enough. Offensive line, running back room. I really don't see any excuses in Charlotte, right? I don't see any excuses. And, at this point, it's time to either get off the pot or crap. And I think that's kind of the consensus in the fan base, and maybe even in that locker room, and maybe even in that executive room. So we'll see this year. But best of luck to the Carolina Panthers. And once more, shout out to my guest here, C. Dougie. Make sure y'all check him out at What's Up Doug 336. Man, good guy, good brother, good content as well. Make sure you follow me again, 1995 The Roar. All right. Channel by the fans, for the fan, restoring the roar. Make sure you subscribe, become a 95ers, right? All right, man. So again, I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I think Instagram 1995 The Roar Podcast. TikTok is 1995 The Roar. Facebook is 1995 The Roar. Yeah, man, we're slowly making our transition into football season here. We're building some steam. Um, just started a new channel, kind of wanted to rebrand. And a lot of people who I haven't seen in a while are coming back, and I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, man, so much um, when it comes to just speaking football, right? And I appreciate that. I'm not the best. I'm not the greatest, man. I'm just a humble man. I'm a man just trying to get it like you're trying to get it. And if you would, drop a like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, man. We back, baby, all right? All right, one love, 95ers. Let me hear your roar.